Welcome on in to today's college football pick video play heading in to December 2nd, 2017 Saturday's action here. A lot of really intriguing matchups on the board. We're going to be discussing the SEC championship game here between Georgia and Auburn. Basically a de facto play-in game to the playoff here for both of these teams. If you guys are interested in getting all of our college football plays for today's action, you can get those over at stumpthespread.com. Link down in the video description. And be sure to click that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. Auburn, they opened here as about 2.5-point favorites. It has receded to about 1 point to a pick'em, somewhere in that range currently. And that's just because Auburn, their running back situation isn't at its most ideal point right now in terms of where Auburn has been throughout the entire regular season. Kerryon Johnson does look like he is going to be able to go today, probably not at 100%. And just the fact that their backfield as a whole is not quite as healthy has made this spread recede a little bit. But in this video, going to be talking about who we feel has the better edge against that spread here coming into the SEC championship game. So starting with Georgia, the Bulldogs, they were looking like the best team in the country for the first couple months of the regular season. Georgia, they faded a bit in the minds of the committee ever since their blowout loss on the road against Auburn. Georgia, they got the job done in their last outing against rival Georgia Tech. Very impressive win by a final of 38-7. This was a great confidence builder for the Bulldogs going into this rematch against Auburn. If you can have success against a Georgia Tech team who's obviously very dangerous on the ground with their triple option attack, maybe they're going to have a little bit more success than what they were able to have against Auburn the first time around. But of course, Auburn's offensive line and threats out of the backfield a little bit higher than what we've been getting out of the Yellow Jackets this year. So it's not a complete comparison. And just because Georgia had success in slowing down Georgia Tech's offense doesn't necessarily mean that will completely carry over into today and have a similar success, obviously, against a opponent like Auburn. But Georgia, they've built around their defense and ground game this year. They're ranked 9th in the nation in rushing, 5th in total defense. The issue with Georgia is sometimes they can get a little one-dimensional there on the offensive side of the ball. They haven't necessarily needed to throw the ball all that much this year. If Auburn is successful in stopping that Georgia ground game, it could be difficult for the Bulldogs to consistently move the ball, given the fact that they just haven't had as many plays run with their pass game and just haven't had as much success through the air, and they haven't needed to really throughout a good portion of the regular season. But it'll be interesting to see if that plays itself out here in this rematch. So the Auburn Tigers, they've vaulted in the polls over the past few weeks given their strong showings in wins over against former number ones Georgia and Alabama. Auburn might have 2 losses on the year, but they were both on the road in very competitive contests against good competition. Of course, losing to number 1 Clemson and also losing a very competitive game against LSU. Auburn is arguably playing the best ball in college football right now. If the Tigers can have somewhat of a healthy backfield here today, playing at the heights that they're able, or they've been showing as of late, if they are able to make their way into the college playoff with a win here today, many would probably look at them as a favorite to go on to win the whole thing, just given how great this team has been closing out the regular season. So Auburn, a bit more balanced on offense than Georgia, and they also have really strong defensive numbers, ranking in the top 10 in the nation in total defense. So it should be interesting to see how this rematch plays itself out. It's never easy to beat the same team twice in the same year, but just given how great Auburn has been looking and how physically dominant they've been in terms of their offensive front, we do like Auburn to continue to build off the success that they've shown lately as they go on to win and cover this spread right now, which has receded a bit, and we feel like that's just an even better reason to side with Auburn here today against Georgia. Should be a great game. Really excited to see how this one turns out. But again, siding with Auburn here, giving the point. And again, guys, to get all of our college football plays for today's action, you can get those over at stumpthespread.com. Link down in the video description. And be sure to click that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. Thanks for stopping on in, and we hope to see you guys in future videos. Bye.